me.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Artemis Prime here doing another Transformers figure review on the Mastermind Creations R05 Fortis Mercenary Ground Assaulter, aka not Headstrong. Yes, he combines to be the right leg of not Predaking. Gotta give a big thanks to Sports and Toys for making this review possible. Give Joe a call. Number is in the description below, as well as their Facebook like page. So check the description for that. Very, very cool looking figure. I'm very excited to open it. I already love the packaging on all these figures. I already did a review on Bovis. Packaging looks really cool over here. I like how we have this chrome lettering. Right here we have a picture of the figure. Again, very matted box right here, except it's glossy over the picture of the figure. Another picture of the figure over here. Then we have a new picture of the Predaking, and then all the things you could do with Fortis or Headstrong. And it is a window box, so you can open it up, and it's held down by magnets, so that's really, really cool. We get some art over here. Pretty nice. 05 Fortis. And then inside the window right here is Fortis himself, looking very, very cool. So I'm excited. Let's crack this thing open. I really love what Mastermind Creations is doing with these. Now, this is more or less the same figure that we did get with Bovis. There's not too many differences over here. You can see they use the same body mold, and they do have some changes, but for the most part, it's the same figure, just remade, and they kind of need to be because they both form the legs of Predaking, or not Predaking anyway. But he definitely has different weapons, and there are some differences in the sculpt. Like you can see the chest pieces right here are different on them. The heads are different, color schemes are different, so they have their differences. So yeah, let's take a look at the accessories. He does come with an extra Bovis butt, which is kind of funny. Now, some people have had a broken Bovis butt, apparently. I don't know how. Mine's perfectly fine, and same thing with Joe Capone's. His is fine too. And we get this very thick plastic trading card over here, and it has Headstrong on there, doing an Iron Man pose, kinda. I don't know, not really. Then here's his tech specs, and his highest is firepower, and the lowest is speed. Pretty cool little picture of Fortis right here. And we also get the instruction booklet / comic book. This is the comic book side right over here. Whoa, there's Fortis. Blam, bitches. Look at that. Woo. That is cool. And then here's the comic, you know, just some pages of it. Very colorful, looks very cool. And then again, we have the characters over here, all 5 of them in their robot modes, looking pretty cool. Dive Bomb looks really, really cool over here. And then we get the Predaking, looking nice. Really cannot wait for this Predaking. And then the instruction booklet over here. Very similar deal that we got with Bovis. And as we turn the figure around over here, we have the foot of Predaking attached to his back, which is pretty damn cool. I like that. Clips in right over here, so you can see where these go. Fits in nicely, and then this fist right over here comes out, and you just detach from right over. Detach right there, and then you can pull the fist out, and this makes the right hand to Predaking. But what's really cool is that you can use this as a hand cannon, which I didn't show in my Bovis review. I forgot about that. You just turn the wrists over here. Blam, bitches! That looks pretty cool, though. I really like that a lot. That's very nice. I dig it. I guess the only thing that is kind of weird is having this ankle joint right over here in the middle, but aside from that, this is pretty sweet. And we also get a pair of these cannons that attach to Fortis's forearms, which are really, really badass. These things are awesome accessories. I really like the gunmetal painted right here on the top, and we have some nice silver painted over here. Nice sculpt overall, and it does have this peg where you can plug it into a bunch of the different ports that he has on his body, and you actually can rotate this around over here so you can get it facing different directions if you wish. Plus, it extends over here, which is super cool. This extension feature is awesome as hell. I really like that a lot. And you can see that it extends a reasonable amount. And we have the same ports available as we did with Bovis, so you can attach them on the forearms, which I guess are most preferred. Or you can attach right here on the side of the legs, or you can attach them right here on his hips. You can kind of get these to fit into his hands, but they don't really fit that well. They kind of have this weird angle. And I tried turning it around on the other one, and that doesn't really seem to help any. Yeah, having it go this way is actually worse. And then we get these 2 blades reminiscent of Rhino horns, I guess. I like all these little jagged edges over here. I like the silver paint applications over here, over the beige. Nice sculpt, pretty sharp. I like this a lot. These are very identical to each other. They both have the pegs sticking out of the sides of them, so you could store them in the same places as those forearm guns. And they fit into the hands pretty well. You just have to push it in there and then rotate. That looks pretty good. I like that. I like having them facing downward. Now, at first glance, I thought this was the same face as Bovis with just a different facial expression, but no, it's different. So you can see a side-by-side comparison over here. here. They do have different faces. Bovis on the right has a much stronger chin, and Fortis on the left, you can tell he has a longer face, and plus the forehead has a different design thing going on over here. So they are actually different. They just look kind of similar. I think the yellow on the figure doesn't look too bad. There's a test shot where the yellow looked really bright. I also like how the red came out. I don't like this color scheme so much compared to the Bovis figure. It's not bad or anything. It's just not as appealing to me. It's just a lot of yellow on this figure. I don't really like that so much. I can't really complain because the G1 figure had a lot of yellow too. Here's a profile shot over here. One thing that they did that I noticed they did not do on the Bovis is on these lines over here on the forearms, they're painted in with black. I think that's really cool. But you know, I have to commend them on the sculpting. Nice silver paint applications over here. Again, some black in the lines. I really like the sculpts of these figures. They look great. These are actually sculpted differently than over here. This one had like mini cannons. This one does not. And here's the back of the figure, looking very complete. I like it. These figures have some weight to them. They are hefty figures. They're very much Voyager class size third-party figures, which is just incredible. I like that. So anyway, the head rotates side to side, and you can't get him to look up. You can't really get him to look down too much, just barely. And if you want to pop the head outward a little bit, you can get him going like this, which kind of looks silly. Kind of looks like, I don't know. He has a ball joint at the shoulder over here that moves in and out and up and down a little bit. He has a separate shoulder joint that moves outward like so. You can rotate the arms forward. He has a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. His wrist moves side to side. He has a waist joint that works great. Beautiful waist joint. He has these flaps over here which annoy me just as much as they did on the Tantrum figure. He does have hip joints that rotate outward that far. You can kick him forward that far. He has an above the knee swivel over here and a single jointed knee that bends in pretty far. He has rotation right here at the foot and an ankle pivot, and it can move down, up, and he has toe articulation. So this Headstrong figure stands just under 10 inches tall, and here he is standing next to his brother Bovis. So you can see the color schemes are very different. I do prefer the Bovis color scheme a lot more, but then again, when you compare him to his G1 self, we have a lot of yellow. Well, this is actually gold over here, so I guess I could have gone with gold, but that's known to be a pretty brittle plastic, and I don't know how well that would fit in with the color scheme with the rest of the figures. I still like this though. And here he is compared to Transformers Classics Optimus Prime, TRU MP10 Optimus Prime, TRU MP10 Optimus Prime, TFC Scavenger, and Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Let's turn him into a Rhino. Will you take us away, Bumblebee? And here's Headstrong, armed to the teeth. Look at this guy. You do not want to mess with this dude. Do you think you stand a chance? I don't. Imagine if this thing was charging at you. Oh my god. Got the cannons right here at the hips, his swords over here, or his blades. The horn doesn't really look like it's going to do much after having these blades, and then here's the foot to Predaking sitting on top of the back. Now the transformation is very similar to that of Bovis. Pretty much the same thing, except that this guy is kind of facing the other way. And what I mean is that the bottom piece to Tantrum over here is actually the top part of Headstrong. So you can see the similarities right there. So if you do want to turn this guy around and have it facing the other way so that this is the top part over here on this guy, or you want this to be the top, you can do that, which is fine, but I'm going to remove all these. If I'm going to have this guy displayed in animal mode or in Rhino mode, I'm going to have all this stuff taken off. I think it's just a little too much for that particular mode. I think it looks okay like this. I honestly think that this whole transformation and everything just works better for this figure over here. I think this guy's head is bigger and it just matches the animal a little better. I feel like this is almost a little too wide or too big for a Rhino. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody out there but me, but I just feel like this is, I don't know, maybe the head looks too small to me or something. I just think that this body mold matches the bull better than it does the Rhino. And one thing I forgot to mention in my Tantrum review is that you can pop the head out and you can rotate the head on these guys side to side like that, which I didn't show. So you can do that on this figure as well. The head rotates side to side. You can move it downwards so you can get him charging like this, but that's mostly due to the third transformation. You can open the mouth just like on Tantrum, except we get that nightmarish face underneath there. Again, you could pop the face down, so if you want the mouth open, you don't have to look at the face from the robot mode. We have these very tight joints on the shoulders, on all four shoulders. They move outward right here. You could rotate them forward and you could do that. One thing I want to mention though is that this part right here where it clips out, that does come off very easily, and then it's not as easy putting it back on for some reason. It's not like it's terribly difficult, but it's a little tricky. We have a ball joint right here at this knee part over here, and then we also have another ball joint at the ankle. We get an ankle pivot, which I really like a lot, and it moves down and up. We do have different hooves, by the way. We have two parts right here for Bovis, and then we have three over here for Fortis, so that works out pretty cool. I'm glad that they added that difference over there. there. And if you remember from my Bovis review, I really hated those hip joints. Well, you can hide them underneath these sections over here, so that's a thing. I didn't know I could do that, so I'm very happy about that. So for his Rhino mode, Headstrong is about 6 inches long, a little less than 6 inches long, and about 3.5 inches wide. And here he's next to his G1 self, so you can see the similarities over there. And you can see that, yeah, we have this goldish yellow color going throughout. So if you did want to spin this whole thing around so you saw yellow on the top, I would understand that. And then here's a profile shot of the two figures. I need to get repro labels for these. They're not out yet, but I will get them once they come out. But at the same time, I still have not applied the stickers to this guy. And here's Headstrong compared to the Generations Beast Wars Voyager class Rhinox figure. And this really helps me explain what kind of bothers me about this figure, or using this mold for this figure, or using this mold for a Rhino, is as you can see that his shoulders are drawn in a lot more. This guy's a lot stockier, so I feel like if I could pull these shoulders in a little bit more, I would feel like this is a little bit more of a Rhino robot. And then here's a profile shot of the two of them, horn in the butt, yeah, but there we go. So you can see the two of them. They look pretty cool. They're about the same length, actually. If you go like this, actually, no, Rhinox is longer, yeah. So I'm ready to see how this guy looks in his leg mode. Will you take us away, Bumblebee? And leg! Yep, that's the right leg to our not Predaking. Looking pretty cool. Not too different from the left leg of Predaking. Yeah, you know, similarities. There they are. Looking pretty nice. I think this is going to be a very large combiner. I cannot wait. Now measuring this guy, he stands under 7 inches tall. And here's the right leg to our TFC Hercules, so you can see a decent size comparison over here. It actually does look like the port to this guy is actually a little lower than the port from Scrapper. So, I don't know. I think we're still going to have a larger figure, though, with Predaking. I've seen people with size comparisons. It's going to be a huge figure. I cannot wait. This thing does have ankle pivot. I'm very happy about that. And it moves forward and back a little, and we get some toe articulation right over here. Very, very cool. I haven't seen a figure that large with toe articulation. I noticed the port moves a little smoother than it does on the Tantrum figure, so that could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I don't know. I can't wait for the Leo Ducks figure to come out. Big thanks again, Mr. Joe Capone. Give him a call. Like the Sports and Toys Facebook page, link in the description below. And please check out tformers.com. I'll have a gallery of photos over there. I hope you guys liked my video. If you did, hit the like button. Please subscribe and leave a comment. I will catch you guys later. Peace. And while I was putting this fist back over here, I gave myself a little scratchy scratch. Well, two of them, underneath the nail and right here. Ouch.